Every day we breathe. The bar was dimly lit, its wooden tables and leather seats worn from decades of use. Outside, the city murmured in the distance, a sound barely perceptible over the soft hum of jazz playing from an old radio in the corner. It was a quiet place, one that seemed to exist outside of time. Liam sat at the bar, staring into his half-empty glass of whiskey. The amber liquid caught the faint glow of the single bulb above him, reflecting it in wavering patterns. Across the bar sat a man he hadn't seen before, though something about him felt eerily familiar. Dressed in a black coat, his posture was relaxed yet commanding, as if the room itself bent to his presence. Liam hesitated, then nodded toward the bartender. Another, he murmured, sliding his glass forward. The bartender poured without a word. The man in black raised his own glass and studied Liam. Long day. Liam glanced up, startled. He hadn't expected conversation. You could say that, he replied, taking a sip. The man smirked, as if he'd heard this answer 1,000 times. Care to elaborate? Not much to tell, Liam said, shaking his head. Just life, I guess. Some days are heavier than others. The man nodded knowingly. It always is. They sat in silence for a moment, the weight of unspoken thoughts filling the air. Then, the man leaned forward slightly. You know, people like us tend to end up in places like this for a reason. What are you running from? Liam stiffened. I'm not running from anything. The man raised an eyebrow. Sure you aren't. The words stung. Liam drained his glass and motioned for another. He knew he shouldn't. 3 was already pushing it, but tonight, the rules didn't seem to matter. You don't know me, he said defensively. No, I don't, the man admitted, raising his own glass. But I've seen enough to recognize the signs. People come here to forget. To numb themselves. Or to say goodbye. Liam froze, his hand hovering over his glass. What's that supposed to mean? The man in black smiled faintly. It means you're at a crossroads, whether you realize it or not. The words hung in the air, their weight undeniable. Liam swallowed hard, his throat suddenly dry. Who are you? He asked. The man didn't answer. Instead, he raised his glass. Salute, he said, his voice cutting through the tension like a knife. Liam hesitated, then raised his own glass reluctantly. What are we drinking to? The man's smile widened, though it carried a touch of sadness. From now on, to every day we spend among the living. The words hit Liam like a punch to the chest. His breath caught, and for a moment, the world around him seemed to blur. He looked into the man's eyes and saw something he hadn't noticed before, a reflection of himself, weary and uncertain but alive. The man set his glass down and stood, adjusting his coat. Good luck, he said, his tone softer now. The choice is yours, after all. And just like that, he was gone, leaving Liam alone at the bar with the faint echo of his own heartbeat and the taste of whiskey lingering on his tongue. For the first time in a long while, Liam smiled. He raised his glass one last time, whispering to no one in particular, to every day we're still breathing.